Hello, the internets. Welcome back. We finally have both Tig and Daya on the global server. So let's talk a little bit about if it's worth pulling for them, building them, the new card also for Tig, and where they are on the tier list on the first day, first impressions, first day review. As usual, this is day one, so things might change. Keep an eye on the website if you want to have the updated tier list itself. All right. That said, let's jump directly into this. It's going to be one video for both characters, to not be making two of them instead. And then I'll make a separate video to talk about the future banners we are getting, because there are some news on the files already. So, that said, let's start with Daya. It's going to be the easy one to start. Green is still not safe, okay? Green is still no bueno, no good. Daya could not save Green. Is she the best DPS in Green? Yes, not by much, even with her A2. She is stronger than Hayley. She is stronger than Erpin, but that is not a big achievement. Both Erpin and Hayley are not strong DPSs by any means when compared with the other personalities, right? So Daya is a character that the best thing she has is actually her passive, because she will increase skill damage of allies in the back row apostles, and this happens even if she's dead. So this is pretty good. At level 10 is a 30%. At max level, it's I believe that 40% if you get her journey. To A3, it's a 40%. If you were to only get this to level 12, it's still a 34%, which is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. And as you guys can see in there, she is a tier 2 character. And I'm gonna be 100% honest, tier 2, I'm being generous with a lot of the green characters in T2 because they are not as good. They cannot compete with a lot of the DPSs in here. For now, it's fine, but most likely they will end up dropping a tier sooner or later when we get a proper green DPS in 30 years, right? So really quickly for Daya, that's the basic stuff. Now, also really important, okay? Her first board is attack and HP, really good first board. And not only her passive is good, but also her A clap is pretty nice, because we finally have another main plastic farmer. So, on that regard, for the A clap, she is good. For her first board, she's nice. I haven't opened the second board because I'm broke after this patch. So when it comes to Daya, it's a useful character for A Club, it's a useful character for Elias Frontier thanks to her passive, but the green team does not change much, even if she becomes a staple on the green team, because, once again, it's not a strong team by any means. We are still lacking pure damage dealers, proper damage output on this team. If you're curious on some damage comparisons as to what's going on with her, I can open right here so you guys can see. Let me scroll all the way up. Should be here. So no journeying, 10 10 10. Okay, 318, pretty good in contrast to Hayley doing 272 and 214 on Erpin. And then Elias Frontier, it's where it shows that she's not that great, with full items on her, right? With full items on Daya and Elena. And you know, it shows a lot more that she's not a great DPS when Seized without items and Momo without items are doing way better than Daya is doing without her journey. And then with her A2, so after we unlock the A2, she went from 318 all the way to 368. So it is an improvement in damage. It's once again the best green DPS, but it's not a high achievement when you can barely do anything. And same setup here. I still not, cannot even compete, even Epica in there or Momo without items. And she's not even competing with those units. So it's an improvement for green. It's not a character I would recommend pulling unless she is your waifu, and let alone going for the journey itself, because again, it's not going to change much. Pull for her only if you like her for the A club and because she's your waifu. Do not pull for dupes. Not a choice or not a chance that it's worth pulling for the journey. Again, even if she's your waifu, you can grind this over time. There is no rush. Okay, so that is for Daya. Really quickly, her key didn't change much from the Korean side. If you guys are interested, you guys can check that directly on the website, because again, Daya is the one that I want to spend less time on, because I want to talk about T, which is the clear winner of this patch. Now, it was not changed much from the Korean side, so it's still basically the same for the freshman and the senior skills. And then her passive is attack speed, which is really good for her. She scales really hard with attack speed, right? And her journey is the same as the Korean side. She increases damage and attack speed for Tig, Rufo, and Benny. And it's a 30% damage increase with a 25% attack speed increase. That is really, really, really good. She also gets some immunity, which is nice on invisibility, but it's not the main focus. The main focus is that damage output increase is huge. Now, Tig is a character that even without her journey, you guys can see it here if we scroll down, without her journey, 10, 10, 10, she is already performing really well. This is on stage 15 on Dimensional Clash. And the items, once again, with her own item, we have to, emphasize that as well. She's using her own item, and she's doing really, really good damage. Now, since it's stage 15, there is not enough time to properly test how she will compare with an invested Momo and an invested Epica. So we went instead to compare on Elias Frontier and without her item, because her item, and we'll talk about it on a moment, it's also making her do way more damage. So with her item, she's basically carrying the team. Without her item, she actually becomes a great DPS, fantastic DPS still, right? But she stops carrying here. Now, Elias Frontier is where it gets interesting, because she's doing better than Xion, and my Xion is still an A2 Xion. So one of the strongest characters in my account, level 130, 1.8 million combat power, rank 9 gear, the same setup, right? And she is at the moment at 12, 12, 7, I believe. No, 12, 12, 12. Okay, even better. 12, 12, 12, and she's doing better than Xion in here. So Tig on Elias Frontier, it's a beast. Now, it's important that we talk about Elias Frontier and why she's so good here. She is scaling better than other characters because she can spam her senior skill, which deals additional damage proportional to max HP. Meaning you can scale her damage way better because of the cards and the rune cards and the artifacts, because a lot of them give HP. She is scaling fantastic in there. Without her item, she does lose a lot of damage. So, she goes from 6.5 in there to, without her item on A2, 6.5 in there, 4.9. Now, this is the A2. With her aside, she goes from, she was doing earlier here, 6.5 all the way to 7.7. 6.7 on Xion, 7.7 on Tig, absolutely destroying everyone. Now, once again, with her own item. Without her item, she does lose a lot of damage, but it's still a strong character. I don't think she's a T0 character, but she can compete with any of the current DPSs we have with proper investment. If you want a more balanced run, right here is a little bit better. So 8 million here on Xion, then we're getting 4.3 bill on Momo, 1.7 on Renewa, 7.7 on Elena, and then on Tig 7.1. And this is a bit more balanced because Timmy can invest in all 3 characters, well, in all 4 characters here. So she's using her own item, the Butter card, and the Chopin bag. And this is, once again, almost the same damage as the characters using the Xion cape, the Dragonlight sword, and good items. So it's a character that her damage output can be really high if you invest into her. That's what I am putting her for now, at least on T1. All right. We have also updated the tier list. There are a few characters that have been moved up and down. If you guys want to check it, link in the description as usual. Any feedback is welcome, and as usual, please, only a reference, nothing else. Gacha games are way too different on each account, depending on what you have, how much you spend, items, characters, etc. That's it. That is the tier list. Those are the characters. Before we talk about if it's worth pulling for them or not, it's important we mention why Tig is scaling her damage so much with this item. This is Tig's Blazing Sword. This gives attack and crit damage. Every 3 normal attacks increases the beater's attack speed by 4%, up to 10 stacks. That is at max level. At level 1, if you only decide to get a copy, it's gonna be giving you 16% attack, 8.9% crit damage, and 2% attack speed per stack, so 20% basically, right? This is really strong for a lot of apostles, and we are actually putting this at the start as a T0 item because it is strong. Yeah, sure, it's not 100% attack on a Xion cape, but it's still fantastic. We're talking about an item that can compete with, the most meta damaging artifacts like the Dragonlight, Xion cape, etc., which is great, right? So attack, crit damage, really good stats themselves, and the passive for Tig is also great because on her senior skill is gonna be increasing. Well, it's gonna be enabling multiple things. Unless it's Blazing Sword energy, dealing AoE physical damage to enemies, increases attack speed and normal attack damage for a set period of time. Again, attack speed is scaling really well on Tig. That's why any item with attack speed will work on her. This effect cannot be removed, and during the overdrive, blaze duration, enhance attack that land, apply Scorch. This Scorch can enable other characters. If you are running a Tig with their own weapon, you could be enabling characters that will also scale with that, a bit copium, but you know, like Haley. So a lot of characters can be enabled thanks to that, but the card itself is worth pulling. In my opinion, I will say grab a copy of the card, and then, depending on your personality, you should be grabbing a copy of Tig for sure. I would not pull for Daya. If you're a green main, yes, it's an upgrade. It's good. If you are not a green main, zero reasons to pull for her unless she's your waifu, which in that case, obviously, grab a copy. Right? Grab a copy. I don't think I mentioned the A clap for Tig. Is not that great, but it, you know, it's still an upgrade depending on what you're looking for and what resources. I will not pull Tig for the A club at all though, because it's only gonna be Rainbow Nectar, assorted grains, and the needed clay. So not fantastic. I will say the best thing about Tig is just her kit and her damage output itself. Now Tig damage enables Rufo, but it's not worth running them together. If it's a 6-man content, you are limited by what you can run, right? So this is what I've been running for the team on Vivacious, and this is assuming you have the yearning for UI, which allows you to have an extra character of a different personality, in this case Vivi, as a tank. But again, it heavily depends. Some people might still need to run Chopin because they need the extra survivability. You might need to remove battery in that case. Or if you don't want to have 3 DPSs because you will only be focusing on one, you can remove either Epica or Tig. I would not remove Momo because for campaign she's just too good, right? Too good. I'll make an update video for teams, however, later this week probably, and also update the website with all of those things. That said, that's basically everything for this video. Once again, priority for the card, then for Tig, and then I would skip Daya. Where are my good green girls, Epic? Give me some. All right, that's it. I'm out, boys. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully summer is not too bad for you. Good luck with your pool, the internet as well. My pools were fucking awful. I'm empty. I had to do like 400 pools and use 4,000 certificates in order to max both of them out. 4,000 certificates. So really bad. It is what it is. That's it. I'm out. You guys enjoy your day. Good luck with your pool, the internet, and I'll see you in the next one.